Hello everybody! Well, as you might have noticed, on this channel I bring classic stories to life by reading and writing them. And today I wanted to walk you through how I pick these stories. Because it's not as easy as I thought. There are a couple of criteria that I use. The first is that the work needs to be in English and have no copyright. And a good source for these stories I found is Wikisource. Because of the copyright requirement, most of them are from the 19th century or the early 20th century. And I found a surprising amount of good readable literature from that time. It does have a downside, and that's that the authors are mostly male. I've been trying to counteract this a bit, for instance with my recent video on Jane Austen, but it's still something to look out for. The second thing that I pay attention to is that the story or poem needs, of course, to be entertaining. I can tell you about the firm collecting of Franklin Tanner Pamper, but nobody got time for that. I don't even got time for that. The third thing I pay attention to is that the story can't be too long. Like, I misjudged that at the beginning with my series on Scandal in Bohemia and The Fireman. So I tried to spread those out over several videos. That was also before I used time-lapse. But those videos don't do very well. Like, you don't like them? That's fine. I prefer to work on something different on every video as well. So on my latest videos I have gravitated towards writing out more poetry, because those are a little more concise. And a fourth requirement that I have is that the story or the author need to have some fame. So they need to be known amongst a general audience. Or let's put it like this, among some people who most likely will be the target audience for my videos. So if they already know the story or already know the author, that makes the videos more attractive and more clickable. She said, with 14 subscribers and barely any views. Anyway, I think this is part of why the 2 video series on The Fireman did poorly. I mean, it was a fun story, but the author and the story both are not very well known. Anyway, now you know how I pick my stories. But for every story featured on this channel there are several which didn't meet one of these criteria but are still very enjoyable. So if you enjoyed the video, you can always check out the Wikisource page in the description. And you can try other stories from that author. You can read on that website. If you really want to take a chance, you can click on random work or random author on Wikisource. And you can get some really random stuff, sometimes boring, but there can also be some little pearls hidden between. Coming up next on this channel is the American classic Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, and also some more audio stories from Lovecraft, because I like doing those and you guys also seem to like those. And when this channel hits 30 subscribers, I will surrender myself to the mercy of Wikisource and write out the first thing the random bottom produces for me. So that might be a video on a random US court case that takes 6 hours to write. Well, thank you for listening, literature lovers, and I'll see you next time.